World War Z. The movie opens up with the family, Jerry, his wife, Karen, and their daughters, Rachel and Constance, enjoying family time early in the morning. They go through their morning routine watching the news and enjoying a family conversation while Jerry makes breakfast. In the news, protests are happening in several cities, and a crowd of people are shown gathering in a place. Then the family sets off to school in their car. There is a serious gridlock and they pass the time playing guess games. In the middle of their game, Karen notices choppers flying frequently over the area and people moving pretty quickly. Bikers speed past them and one of the bikers smashes the side mirror, causing Jerry to step out of the car to check the damaged mirror. As Jerry picks up the damaged mirror, another man alights from his car and asks if Jerry is okay. Immediately, a building explodes in the distance, rocking the area and causing everyone in the gridlock to panic and start running away from the explosion. Another biker draws near to tell Jerry to get back into his car, but he is immediately run over by an ambulance. Panic rises the more and the girls are petrified in their seats. Within a split second, a thrash truck runs uncontrollably through the gridlock, moving cars along with it. Jerry sees this as an opportunity to get out of the jam and follows the truck. But the truck soon flips and he soon collides with another car when he is distracted by scared Rachel. Luckily, no one is hurt and they get out of the car. At first, they only see people running in confusion. But Jerry and Karen later realize that zombies were pouncing on people and feeding on them. They see a man instantly turn into a zombie and attack his family after being bitten by another zombie that initially attacked his family. Jerry and his family get into a van to get away from the zombies. A zombie tries to bite Jerry, but Karen kicks it out. Soon, all the zombies run after their van because they appear to be the only sane and safe ones in the city. I think it's just the movie plot because they cannot possibly be the only normal people out there. However, Jerry manages to drive his family to safety while the city is left behind in chaos. As they drive through the outskirts of town, Rachel has an asthma attack and Jerry switches places with his wife so he could calm her down until they can get her medication. At first, the van refuses to start and Jerry receives a call from Thierry, the U.S. Deputy Secretary General, who is in a helicopter promising to save them. He says he would meet them at an extraction point in 1 hour. The van eventually picks up and Constance comes out of a corner of the van with a rifle she found. That rifle would save their lives in the hours that follow. The family drives to the nearest pharmacy, and there is tumult there as people are trying to restock in a hurry. Jerry goes for Rachel's medicines while Karen grabs food from the store with Constance. As Jerry searches for the medicine, someone comes out of a corner, pointing a gun at him. Phew, happens to be the store attendant who thinks Jerry was trying to steal like every other person. But he puts down his gun when he sees the little girl is in need. He soon helps Jerry find what he is looking for. As soon as Jerry receives the medicine, he sees his other daughter scream as she flies them in a shopping cart. He asks for his wife only to realize that she is being harassed by 2 men. Jerry exchanges gunfire with both men and eventually kills one while the other runs away. A policeman arrives at the scene of the shooting and starts running towards Jerry, who thinks he is in trouble. But the policeman is only there to get supply too. Who cares about law and order when the city is already in flames? The family makes it out of the supermarket but is shocked to find that their van has been stolen. Jerry reaches out to Thierry, who informs him that the chopper cannot make it to them that night. They'll have to wait till sunrise. So, the family start making their way to a high-rise apartment. On their way, they see a homeless man comfortably eating on the streets. Seems zombies have a beef with these homies. There is an explosion a few feet from the family. Then a zombie falls from a building onto a car next to them. This frightens them, and they run into the nearest building. Another zombie runs after them, but Jerry shoots it down. Too bad, the gunshot only draws more zombies to the family, and they scamper up the stairs while a horde of zombies chase after them. The zombies almost catch up with them, but Jerry throws a large cabinet and blocks the stairway. As they try to catch their breath, they realize that Constance is missing, but they can hear her shouting, "Let me in." They get to her and realize that a family lives in the apartment on whose door the little girl was knocking. The family let them in and their son, Tommy, acts as a translator since his parents do not speak English like Jerry and his wife. Jerry sees a radio and immediately tunes it for signal. Then, he is startled from his sleep and doesn't find Rachel. He starts searching for her and finds her in a closet with Tommy, who explains that she was crying. When everyone is up, Jerry tries to convince the man to come with them, but he replies, "Do you need anything else before you leave?" Before Jerry leaves with his family, he prepares a steak using a knife and wraps his left hand with hard paper to prevent zombies from tasting his skin. As soon as he leaves with his family, there is a violent bang on the door and the hinges start to come off. In other parts of the building, Jerry's family is being chased by zombies as they climb to the roof of the building. Meanwhile, the chopper has been waiting for them at the arranged location and is about to leave. Jerry struggles with a zombie whilst his family make it to the roof. He is almost subdued when the zombie is shot from behind. The shooter happens to be Tommy, who obviously survives the attack on his family just after Jerry's family left them. Jerry's wife throws a flare, and the helicopter notices them. Immediately, Jerry runs out with Tommy and runs to the edge of the roof, thinking he would turn into a zombie because the last zombie spat in his mouth. But he doesn't. The chopper descends on the building, but zombies immediately run up the roof and Jerry blocked them by holding the door with his wrapped hand. Isn't it funny how all the zombies paused and didn't show up for those few minutes as Jerry tried to kill himself? Luckily, Jerry makes it to the chopper but not without a handful of zombies trying their luck too. The family is taken to an unmanned ship in the middle of the sea where other survivors are. After the family settles in, Jerry informs him that the president is dead, and the VP is missing and the virus has affected the entire globe. Jerry soon realizes that Terry rescued him and his family because he believes Jerry can help the UN find what they need to create a vaccine against the virus. Jerry declines, but changes his mind when he learns that there is no room on the ship for non-essential people. Jerry's wife does not take the news lightly, but she gives in when she learns they will be thrown out if he doesn't. He hands her a telephone for communication while he bids his family goodbye. In the military aircraft, Jerry encounters his partner, a dude who keeps making spooky comments about Mother Nature being a serial killer. The plane lands in its first destination in South Korea, and the men troop out of it to meet pitch-black darkness and zombies napping around. But the zombies soon start attacking from the darkness, and the Mother Earth guy tries to run back onto the plane. He slips and falls on his gun, killing himself accidentally. Soldiers from the airbase come to their rescue and they run into the airbase. There, Jerry learns that body shots only slow the zombies down, but headshots kill them. Every zombie movie says the same thing. The soldiers in the facility take Jerry to the room where the doctor of the facility was held after he got infested and later infested others. According to Jerry, an email was sent here for this reason. They also show Jerry a CIA agent who was held prisoner for illegally selling guns to North Korea. When Jerry questions him whether the guns are helping North Korea survive the zombie apocalypse, he says guns are half measures and proceeds to remove his tooth and places it on a platform with the others. The former CIA agent also revealed that Israel is winning because they sealed off their entire country by completing a wall they had been building for years in just a few days before the plague broke out. Jerry decides they need to go to Jerusalem for answers. Before they leave, he tries to call his wife, but the signal is messed up. The men then turn off the lights and head outside wearing night vision. 3 people get on bicycles to refuel the plane while some snipers take position on the roof. As Jerry proceeds on a bicycle with 2 other men behind him, his cloth gets caught in a barbed wire mess and his wife calls him at that instant. The ringing sound wakes the undead. All the men speed off to the plane while the shooters deal with the zombies and another soldier refuels the plane. Just as Jerry made it into the plane, one of the men on bicycle gets attacked by a zombie but is saved when another man shoots the zombie. Unfortunately, this same man is bitten on his leg by another zombie, and because he doesn't want to become a Z, he orders one of his men to kill him. Zombies also get on the plane, but Jerry locks it cabin before the zombies get into it. And when they take off, the Z's slide out of the plane. Jerry calls Karen while they're on the plane to Israel. But while they're conversing, an explosion rocks the ground below the plane, causing the plane to jerk and the signals to get jammed. Seems like Karen has some kind of bad luck surrounding her. They get to Jerusalem, Israel, and the entire city is unaffected by the plague. Jerry is taken to the general who reveals that they built the wall because they intercepted a message from an unknown source from India with the hint of zombie. The general takes Jerry to the Jerusalem Salvation Gates by the high wall. There is a crowd of people around the wall, and soldiers patrolling it in helicopters, making sure that no undead tries to scale it. Jerry also questions why the country is letting people into the city in buses, and the general replies that every human needs to be saved. Soon, some religious people start singing close to the wall using loudspeakers. The sound is so loud that it starts to attract zombies from outside the wall. Jerry tries to warn the general the sound is too loud and might attract zombies, but his warning falls on deaf ears. He also tries to get answers from the general as he feels that time is running out. The zombies start to climb on top of each other to make it to the top of the wall. Unfortunately, the patrol chopper doesn't see this on time until zombies start jumping into the city from the wall. Soon, the peaceful city is set in utter chaos and thousands get infected. Jerry runs for his life with a crowd of people, but he notices that the zombies do not attack an old man who stands confused in the midst of the chaos. He also notices a thin boy with shaved hair not being attacked by the zombies. Soon Jerry is left with only a few soldiers who fight the zombies with guns. A female soldier gets bitten by an undead, and Jerry immediately cuts off the affected hand to stop the infection from spreading to her system. They wrap the hand to stop the bleeding as a chopper comes to get them. But before they could get in, some zombies jump on the chopper from a nearby building, causing it to crash. Jerry supports the wounded soldier and they run to the airport to find their plane flying off. They decide to stop a commercial plane which is about to taxi. The pilot stops and allows Jerry and the soldier in through a ladder. Upon seeing an army of zombies trooping into the runway, the passengers urge the pilot to take off. Thankfully, they make it out of the city in one piece, and Jerry had to change the wrapping around the soldier's wounded hand. After dressing the wound, Jerry starts to put pieces of the apocalypse together. He calls his wife to reach out to Thierry and makes Thierry tell the pilots to fly to the nearest health research facility. The pilot agrees. Just as the pilots announce the plane's landing, a flight attendant sees a passenger's puppy barking at a door. She squats to play with the dog, but it runs away. And as soon as he opens that door, a zombie jumps out and attacks her. Jerry is immediately startled from his sleep and walks around the plane. The passengers in Jerry's cabin start to hear noises coming from the adjacent cabin, and they realize that people are getting infected there. They start to quietly stack bags together to block the cabin door and keep zombies from getting in. Too bad. One nerd throws a bag too hard and it falls into the other cabin, drawing the zombies' attention to them. How could he not see the right place to put the bag? Even with his glasses. The entire plane is now attacked by zombies and Jerry is left with no option but to throw a grenade at the zombie. This causes all the zombies to get sucked out of the aircraft, but it soon crashes as some of the expelled zombies are caught in the engine. Jerry survives the crash, but doesn't see the wounded soldier on her seat. He also finds and tries to remove a sharp metal pierced into his side. Ouch. The wounded soldier approaches him, and they walk to the WHO facility in the city, supporting each other. Back on the ship, Thierry breaks the news of the plane crash to Jerry's wife, and the family is evacuated from the ship since they are now non-essential people. Jerry wakes from a dream about zombies and his family to find that he is being tied to a bed and a bandage now sits where the metal once pierced through his body. One man goes into another room to tell another man that Jerry is up, and both men now come to Jerry. They want to know who he is, but he insists they call the ship with his phone to know who he is. Thierry picks the phone and is surprised to know that Jerry is still alive. Jerry asks for his family and the deputy informs him they were taken off the plane because they all thought Jerry was dead. The people in the facility ask Jerry what he wants and he said your deadliest disease. They decline his request saying that viruses can only thrive in living people. He explains that he had seen the zombies pass by people like water around a rock because they were terminally ill. They agree to give him the viruses he needs but not without warning him about the implications of his decision. They also reveal that the viruses are stored in B-Wing, where a doctor got infected as he tried to separate the pathogen from a zombie's blood. Now, B-Wing is a zombie land, but Jerry still insists on going. He arms himself, along with the wounded female soldier from Israel, and a doctor in the facility. They first take off the barricade between the main building and B-Wing before setting off for the part of the building containing the virus they need. They are now in B-Wing, and Jerry accidentally kicks an empty can. Thankfully, it doesn't awaken any undead. Now, they have to pass a room full of zombies who seem to be in a conversation, but they decide crawl past them. Now, they're in a passage and a zombie is walking towards them. In an attempt to get away from the oncoming zombie, the doctor leans on the nearby door, and it squeaks, attracting all the zombies to them. They head down the stairs and are about to go into room 139 where the viruses are. But again, the doctor's metal weapon scratches against the cabinets and attracts the attention of a nearby zombie. Quite clumsy, the zombie comes after Jerry, but the soldier shoots it, attracting more zombies to themselves. As the zombies chase after the group, Jerry goes a separate way to distract the zombies from the other two. He is violently chased by another zombie, but he lures it into a corner and smashes its head. Just as he catches his breath from the chase, he finds another doctor zombie coming at him from the other end while he struggles to get his weapon out of the dead. Luckily, he is able to pull out the metal just as the other zombie approaches and smashes its head. On the other hand, the soldier and the doctor are being chased by zombies as they run back to the main building. They narrowly escape the zombies as the others open the door for them before the zombies make it to the door. Jerry now gets to V139 and calls for the code to the vault. He loads several virus vials into a box and sets to leave, but he is stopped by the original research doctor. Guy's mad that Jerry is messing with his viruses. Jerry writes a note and turns it to the CCTV camera, telling the rest to tell his family he loves them. He then proceeds to inject himself with one of the diseases. And miraculously, he walks right past the zombie doctor undetected. The rest of the zombies also run past him as they did with the old man and that shaved boy. A can of soda is just right for this moment. As soon as he reaches the main building, he is vaccinated before he leaves with the soldier to reunite with his family in the safe zone where they're kept. Now, people get doses of a terminal disease as camouflage to help them fight off the zombies and the movie ends.